What's up, everybody? Steven here with another video for my comms 4365 class. It's nonverbal communications. This week, the video that I'm making is for chapter 7. This chapter goes over Kinesics, and that is the study of the human body movements. So anything that your body does that sends a message to people non-verbally, this chapter, or these two chapters, go over it, chapter 7 and 8. So the first thing that I was going to get into that I read from the book was something called emblems. What emblems are is they are gestures that people make to represent one word or a phrase. So a couple examples of that would be like sticking the middle finger up at somebody whenever you're having road rage or something like that. Another good example would be like a peace sign or like a thumbs up, like, yeah, nice job. So it would be like, F you would be the middle finger, of course, thumbs up, good job, nice, and a peace sign. In the book, it goes over a little bit over how different cultures see different emblems. It talks about in Europe how they don't really see the middle finger that much whenever people are like disrespecting them. I know in like Britain, like if you do this to somebody, it's like the same thing as the middle finger or maybe worse. And maybe like going like this or something kind of means the same thing in other European countries. What that reminded me of, whenever I was like little in elementary school, people would be like, I'm sticking up the Chinese middle finger up at you, and like I don't even know I don't even know if that is something real or just something that somebody made up. But yeah, I just remember people being like, oh, it's the Chinese middle finger. And I remember that people saying that in elementary school, and I thought that reading that just reminded me of that, and I thought it was kind of funny. I don't even know if that's true. I'll have to look it up after I finish recording this video. So the next thing that the book goes into was illustrators, and that's basically talking with your hands. The example that the book goes into is if you're really mad at somebody and you're shaking your fist at them, like why I oughta, you're expressing that you're so mad that you're just shaking your fist at that person. One of the things that the book goes into is speaking, or it studied a Spanish-speaking class in college, and that's something that I can relate to because I'm studying Spanish in college as well. And whenever I talk in Spanish, I catch myself using my hands more to talk. I'll be like, ¿Dónde están las bolsas plásticos? Like, or whatever. Like, where is the bags? Like, I'm doing this with my hands, and it's making me remember a little bit better just what that word is. Kind of weird how that works. But people tend to use their hands more whenever they're speaking like the second language, just to help get their message across. And I'm somebody who speaks with my hands too. I don't do it like over the top, but especially whenever I am speaking in front of people, like in public speaking in front of my class, I'll use my hands a lot more. Usually just because I'll be nervous, and like the more I move, the more kind of comfortable I'll be in front of the class. Sorry. But yeah, that and then the book also said that kind of moving with your hands will help people remember things better, just because there's more pieces to it. But you don't want to move your hands too much to where it distracts somebody. Then they'll just pay attention to how you're moving your hands instead of what you're actually saying. The next thing that the book goes over is, facial expressions, specifically gender, and it says in the book that children are taught to have less negative emotions shown on their face. For men, or for boys, of course, it's don't stop acting like a little girl crying. If you're a guy, you've definitely heard that before. And then for women, it said that showing like mean face, like negative emotions on their face, will be less attractive. And I'm thinking about that now. Like, I don't think, if a girl is pretty, no matter what type of face she's making, she's still gonna be pretty. Like, but the way people, I think, perceive it now is that, they just seem like unapproachable. Like, if a girl's like, they call it like the resting B word face. You just look like she looks like she'll like say something like nasty if I try to approach her. Um, Not necessarily makes her more or less attractive, but you just don't want to approach her because you don't want her to be like, ugh, like get away. Like you feel like she'll do that to you. But I feel like that's kind of how it is just now with my experience. Not necessarily that they're more or less attractive, just that they're more or less seemed like they're approachable. Some people, sometimes you'll meet somebody and they're like, oh my god, like I'm the nicest person ever. Like why'd you think that, I was gonna be mean? Like, after you like finally meet them and you like get to know them a little bit, well, like I was looking at you and you're looking like this, like all mad, like all judgy, looking at everybody. So it's like, you actually turned out really nice, but I didn't want to approach you at first because you were just looking like that. I feel like that's more or less usually how it is. And then the last thing that I'm gonna go over is something called micro expressions. Sorry. Those are the tiny expressions in your face. Right whenever you hear something, they tell the truth on what your initial reaction is to what somebody said. A lot of times people are really bad liars. Like you can tell in their face. Like you'll say something and then they'll be like, "Bro, what are you talking about, bro? That was not me." And you're like, "Bro, I know you're about to lie, so you you don't even have to lie. Like don't even say a lie." But some people are really good liars. Like they'll just look you straight in your face and lie, like just like they're telling the truth. But it said that the more you get used to reading people's micro expressions, the better that you'll be able to get at people's initial reaction to things. It reminds me of this TV show that I had seen one time. I don't remember what it was called, but it seemed kind of interesting. It was about this dude who was like a detective, asking criminals questions, and he would kind of look over the film and he'd be like, yeah, right when I asked him that question, his left eye twitched, so I knew he was lying. And it was like somebody who like studied micro expressions or something. I don't know, but pretty much saying that like your face is not going to be able to hide your initial reaction. Just tiny like squints of your face or whatever, super subtle. And a lot of times you could tell, just normal people. But the guy on the show was like he was like a big time studier of micro expressions. That show sounds pretty interesting. I think I want to watch it again. But yeah, he was really good at telling that. But yeah, this is a pretty good chapter. Kinesics, study of human body movements, is very important whenever you're talking about nonverbal communications because, a lot of times body language speaks louder than words. So yeah, hope everybody enjoyed my videos. Peace.